Hey there, everybody. How are you doing? I thought I'd jump on just to kind of give a reminder about what's coming up this week, just to remind everybody that Let's Continue the Conversation will be happening this Thursday and it will be live. So I want to make sure everybody is aware of that. Make sure I let you all know because that's quite important. Want to make sure you all know about that. And we're going to be talking about voting on Thursday. That will be Thursday at 1 o'clock Central. Hey, Victor, how are you doing? So I want to let you all know that is happening. Also, I will be speaking at the Agile Arizona on November 13th. Yes, November 13th at 1 o'clock. My topic is skinny dipping through change without getting caught. So it'll be kind of funny, right? We'll be able to get into a whole bunch of stuff. The thing I wanted to make sure I kind of brought to your attention, simply because I was thinking about it today, and I've been kind of busy, but I still wanted to make sure I put this up so everybody would have it. And that's feedback. We're in that part of the year where a lot of people are starting to give great reviews. Oh, good. You see my sign there, Victor, about voting, right? It's important that everybody votes. I'm not judging people on what they're going to vote on or why they're voting, but the key is to have your voice heard. So voting is something you should do if you have the ability to do it. If you have the right to vote, one should go and utilize that vote. A lot of people paid heavy prices for us to be able to vote. And that's what we're going to talk about on Thursday with Let's Continue the Conversation. We're going to look at voting and how people have been affected by it, what it means for people to struggle to get to the point where people could have a vote. So that's Thursday. But what I want to bring to your attention now, and have you noticed I've got like some cool kind of backing stuff going on? You see the hashtags, Our Humanity is Beautiful, My Humanity is Beautiful. I would like to encourage people to start using those hashtags of Our Humanity is Beautiful, My Humanity is Beautiful. So even if you're not watching me now and you'll come back and you watch me later, right? That's fine. I want you to start using those hashtags because one of the things we talk about as Agilists is collaboration. Well, how can we really collaborate unless there's true respect, right? Where I'm respecting you for the human you are, you're respecting me for the human I am, and then we can come together and make amazing things happen because that respect factor is very much alive, right? So it's important that we do that. So remember, our humanity is what is beautiful. The fact that we are alive and we're breathing on this fabulous planet called Earth, and we have the ability to evolve, change, and become better people. This is what is wonderful. Also, the other thing I want to bring to your attention is I'm going to be putting out a poll. And the poll I'm going to be putting out is to make sure I'm bringing to you content at right hours. What do I mean by that? What's the optimal hours that you would like to watch a show on? So there's a couple of show ideas that I'm battering around with some colleagues, and we're trying to pick that perfect time. And it's an evening show, not daytime when everybody's working and you got to squeeze it in at lunch. But it's the idea of having it when you're done with the evening and, you know, you kind of put kids to bed and you can kind of just have that. What would be that good time? Is that a 7:30? Is it an 8:30? Is it a 9 o'clock? What time is it that show would be good? Now, I'm not going to tell you the name of the show that we're putting on, but it's going to be a panel. And we are going to aim to come at least once a week and then kind of build up. And it's really going to be on your appetite. Is it something you want to see every evening or is it something you want to see every week? We are going to have a blend of characters from the Agile world. We'll have some people who are just simply hilariously funny. We'll have extremely skilled people. We'll have some very opinionated people, but it will make for great discussion. And we will be taking topics based off what is happening in our current working environment in that moment, what's come to the news that day, and we're going to be talking about it. And obviously it will be virtual, so everybody will be in their corner of the world or their corner of the country, as we have these discussions. And it'd be like people sitting in their living room with their laptop, right? Just like you would be sitting in the living room watching kind of on your laptop, because we want it to be at that point of the evening where you're kind of just sitting back and you can get something. We can give you some humor. We can give you some thoughts to provoke you, right? So you'll be thinking, hey, Fawzia, how are you doing? 6 p.m. Eastern would be good for me. Okay, that's 6 feels early, but okay. 6 feels early, but that's cool. That's good to know that 6 o'clock is maybe a good time. And the reason why I'm thinking 6 is early, for those people who tend to work a little later, right, may still be in work mode at 6 and haven't kind of come down a bit. But I'm glad you've told me that 6 o'clock would be a good time. So guys, these comments will still be live, okay, even after I shut it down. So please, when you watch this later on, I want you to put in comments and let me know, what do you think that perfect time is, right, in the evening to put on a show? And would you want that show to be every evening so it becomes like a late night show that's on? Well, if we do it at 6, folks, it wouldn't be late night, it'd be like an evening show. Or would you want it to be later, right? And would you want it to be every day? Like I said, is that something you'd like to see every day? Or is that something you'd like to see once a week or once every 2 weeks? What would be your appetite for that? Okay. Well, see, if you wind down at 6, it means that you'll be able to get to bed and have good, decent sleep, which is very healthy. If you can get good, decent sleep, that's always an amazing thing to have. I'm working on that. I've had some weeks where I've done it really well, and then other weeks where, yeah, not happened. I had last week I was up for almost 3 days straight working on some stuff because I was really into it, and it was just like, and I didn't go to bed. So LinkedIn user once a week. Okay. I think that's where we may try. If we don't get enough feedback as to, okay, what would be the good time, we'd probably be going once a week. 1 interactive session and 1 I can just listen. Cool. All right. That's the aim, to make it that way. But that's good feedback there for us to know that, okay, something that where everybody can kind of participate, and then something where people can kind of just sit back and listen. Okay, that's really cool. So let me leave you with this, because we're at the time of the year, as I was saying, where people are starting to give, end of year reviews, etc. And, everybody's always saying that they're offering you a gift of feedback. I want to make sure that when it comes to feedback, we're considering how we're giving feedback and making sure it really is feedback. See, as Agilists, we're all about feedback, and we want to get feedback as fast as possible, and it's a good thing. But the delivery of feedback is important, and that's what allows us to understand if we're getting feedback or if we're getting critique. Feedback should not be critique. And you may all disagree with me, but let me explain to you why I say that. I look at critique kind of like a bomb, a little grenade that you pull apart and you just kind of throw it and you walk away, and whatever happens, happens. But feedback aligns far much more with our value system of the idea of collaborating, of the idea of us improving together as a we, and us helping others. So if we're really serious about helping other people, then we should be serious about giving feedback and checking in with ourselves, and even getting somebody else to check that what you're about to say is actually feedback and that is not critique. So here's point number 1. Feedback should be friendly. If it's not friendly, as in it's not being delivered in a friendly tone, right, with friendly intent, then it doesn't really qualify as feedback. And if when it's being delivered, it isn't being delivered respectfully, then it's not feedback either. Number 3, if when you give feedback, it is not clear and concise, it's not feedback, it's a lecture. And the idea of giving feedback is so that somebody can take it and do something with it, right? because you want to see them improve. So it shouldn't be a lecture. It should be clear. It should be concise. So actionable things that people can do. Next, it should bring empowerment. So if it doesn't empower that person, if it makes them feel bad about themselves and withdrawn, that wasn't feedback. See, if you realize when you're talking about giving feedback, there's a huge responsibility on your shoulders when you decide to give feedback, if it's feedback that you're actually giving. Because the aim is to help somebody to grow and point a way in which they can grow and improve. Next, there should be a covenant of support and engagement implied. So when somebody gives feedback, or when I give feedback to somebody, I'm saying I'm in this with you. So I'm with you on this journey of your improvement that you're going to make as a result of this feedback. So anything I can do, I'm right here with you. If you're not willing to be on that journey of improvement with that person, then you shouldn't give that feedback. If you're not willing to go the distance to see that person implement your feedback and make those improvements, then I would just say kind of keep it to yourself. Yeah, don't bother to say anything. Because why throw something that you're not willing to support? Then inspect that you've hit all those 6 points, right? Get somebody to just check it. So before you go, blah, 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 right? Check in with yourself. Get somebody else just to validate that it is feedback you're getting ready to give. So let's go over again. 1, if it's feedback, it should be delivered with friendly tone and respectful. Number 2, it should be clear and concise. Number 3, it should bring empowerment to the person who's receiving it. Number 4, you should be willing to support them during this journey. Number 5, you should make sure you're actually giving support. And number 6, you've checked and made sure that all those things are there. So if they're not there, you're going to keep your mouth shut, keep your opinions to yourself, and not throw that grenade. Now, there are some of us who, on our journey of evolution as a person, we tend to feel that being critical is not necessarily a negative. But here's the question to ask yourself. Does criticism inspire you to improve, or put you at a point where you're second guessing your ability and who you are? Think about the times that you've had so-called feedback, but it's really been critique. How did it make you feel? And were you able to adjust your behavior with positive intent and empowerment, or did you do it based out of shame? Nobody wants to do anything based out of shame or out of feeling bad or feeling less than. And as Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, Agilists in general, we should have a mindset to help empower and improve. Let me say that again, to help empower and improve. And whatever it takes to help somebody make those steps, we should be willing to pair with them, come alongside them to help them to make those things happen. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to come on today to talk about feedback, let you know what's coming up. Again, let me remind you, Thursday, let's continue the conversation, and we're going to talk about voting. Okay, so we'll be talking about that. I am speaking at Agile Arizona, November 13th, so please join me. I am speaking at 5 a.m. and I believe 5:30 a.m. in the morning in the UK at a meetup group also. So if you're on UK time or you're an early riser, join into that. I'm going to be talking about the many personas we wear as Agilists and how it's time for us to get back to being what we really are versus what we think everybody wants of us, so that we can actually really be great coaches on the ground. So have a great evening. Fazia, thank you for staying with me. Victor, thank you for popping in. And thank you to all of you who are watching this later on. I hope it inspires you and gives you a tip and gives you something that you can inspect and adapt yourself on just to get better, right? It's a journey that we're on together and we're all aiming to improve. So please give me your feedback. Let me know about the show. When would you want to see it? What day of the week and what time of the evening would be best? Please leave comments, etc. And please do follow me on at Your Agile Lady on here on LinkedIn. If you're not a follower, become a follower. YouTube, Your Agile Lady, Facebook, Instagram, on all of them, Twitter too. I'm trying to get more into tweeting again. I've kind of fallen off, but I'm trying to get back into that. But please collaborate with me on all platforms because I'll grow from hearing from you. You'll grow from hearing from me. And together, that's collaboration, helping us come together with the best of who we are, helping us all improve. Have a fabulous evening, everybody. Thank you, Fazia. You're more than welcome. Take care, guys. Bye.